Think about it. Millions of years ago, different species lived on Earth before us. Our ancestors, who struggled to survive with pieces of stone in their hands, spent their nights in fear and waited for the morning with hope. But one day, a species appeared on the stage of history that changed everything: the first human. So how did the first human come about? What made us different from the others? And why are they gone while we are still here? Let's embark on an exciting journey to the origins of humanity. One part: the pre-human scene. To understand the story of humans, we must first know this: we did not appear suddenly. We are the result of a slow but unstoppable change called evolution. About 7 million years ago, our earliest human ancestors lived on the African continent. At that time, the world was shared by giant predators, mammoths, and saber-toothed tigers. Our ancestors, however, were small, fragile, and constantly struggling to survive. But they possessed a very special power: the ability to adapt. The first important step was standing upright, walking on two legs. It may seem simple, but it freed our hands. We could hold stones, defend ourselves with sticks, carry food. That was the first great revolution on the path to becoming human. Section: the world of hominids. You may have heard of Australopithecus. These creatures, who lived in Africa about 4 million years ago, could live both in trees and on the ground. Their skulls were small, and their brains were 4 times smaller than ours. But they were our great, great, great ancestors. Over time, some of these species took a different path. We call them Homo, meaning human. The first Homo species appeared about 2.5 million years ago. Homo habilis. The name itself says a lot. Skilled human. Because they had begun to carve stones. With small but sharp pieces of stone, they cut meat, broke bones, and reached the marrow inside. This moment was humanity's first major technological step: tool making. 3. Section: the discovery of fire. Imagine, for millions of years, when night fell, there was only darkness. The eyes of wolves and lions glowed around you. You and your small group huddled together in fear. Then one day, a spark from lightning ignited the dry grass on the ground. Fire. At first, they were afraid, but then they realized fire meant not only warmth, but also protection, cooking food, and sitting together to communicate. Controlling fire was one of humanity's greatest turning points. Because thanks to fire, our brains grew larger. Eating cooked meat instead of raw meat made digestion easier and provided energy. This energy went to our brains. We became smarter, and intelligence was humanity's greatest weapon. 4. Chapter: Neanderthals and us. Now we come to the most exciting question. How did we, Homo sapiens, enter the scene? About 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, or wise man, appeared in Africa. But we weren't alone when we entered the scene. There were other human species on Earth. For example, the strong, cold-resistant Neanderthals. They were battling the glaciers in Europe. They were short, but very muscular. They were painting in caves and making tools there before us. So why did they disappear and we remained? Here's the incredible part. Our difference wasn't just in our muscle strength, but in our communication and imagination. We developed a more complex language: symbols, signs, stories. This allowed us to cooperate in large groups. While Neanderthals were limited to small communities, we could move together in groups of hundreds, even thousands. This ensured our survival. And yes, Neanderthals didn't completely disappear, because today, traces of them remain in all of our DNA. So, a little bit of Neanderthal still lives within us. 5. Chapter: Art, Belief, and Society. Early humans were not merely creatures who made tools or used fire. Our true difference was our power of imagination. About 40,000 years ago, humans began painting pictures on cave walls, hunting scenes, animal figures, handprints. This was not just art, but also a belief, a form of communication. They began to bury their dead. They placed food and objects beside them. This means they believed in life after death. This shows that a new world opened up in the human mind. Abstract thought. We were no longer just a living species, but beings searching for meaning. 6. Chapter: Agriculture and the Path to Civilization. About 10,000 years ago, humanity experienced another great revolution: agriculture. Think about it. For tens of thousands of years, we lived by hunting and gathering. But one day, some communities planted seeds in the ground. They domesticated animals. Nomadic life ended, and villages emerged. Villages gave rise to cities, and cities gave rise to empires. And here we move from the story of early humans to the story of civilization. Humans were no longer just a species struggling to survive. They had become a force that shaped the world. How did the first human emerge? The answer is simple yet fascinating: through time, struggle, and imagination. Our ancestors defied nature for millions of years, made tools, controlled fire, and survived. If we are here today, listening to this story on screen, it is thanks to their struggle. But what about the future? We've told the story of the first human, but the real question is, where will humanity's future be written? On Earth or among the stars? To find out the answer, we must continue to write our story.